Hey, what's up, family? Hey, today I'm gonna do this video here, and I'm gonna title this one, My Very First Racial Encounter. And I know a lot of y'all, I don't care what ethnicity you are, at some point you've seen some racial injustice, some racial inequality, or something that just was racial that you was like, wow, that's messed up, or maybe you experienced it yourself. So in this video, that's just what I'm gonna do. Like I said, I'm gonna title it My Very First Racial Encounter. Now let's get to the story. Now this was when I was about in the 6th grade. I remember I was going to this school called Lafayette, and this touches back on another video of mine called Knowledge of Worldwide Culture. And the reason I mentioned that is because I explained how I grew up just around blacks and Puerto Ricans. I had never knew about all these other, Peruvian, Colombian, Ecuadorian, Polish, you know what I'm saying, Scandinavian. I didn't know about all these other cultures until I got in the 6th grade and went to a whole nother school, which was very diverse. So that's why I mentioned that. That video is called Knowledge of Worldwide Culture. And it does explain how I got into this incident. So anyway, let's get to the point. My very first racial encounter. All right. So when I was in the 6th grade, I was pretty cool with this one particular white girl. Well, quite a few to be honest. But it was this one white girl where this racial encounter happened. And this is how it started. Although me and her was kind of cordial and this and that, and kind of dug each other somewhat, whatever, homework assignments, whatever. She found out I was intelligent, copied off my work a couple times. Around that era, I watched MTV a lot, in the 80s. So I knew a lot of that type of music. I don't care if you whatever you was talking about, rock, soft rock, I knew it. Rap, Eddie Money, Motley Crue, whatever. I was into all that nonsense. But anyway, good music. Let me knock it off. Let's get to the point. On this one particular day, I remember being in the cafeteria line, and I was in back of this girl, this white girl. She was that typical white girl like from the Brady Bunch, the long blonde hair, the blue eyes, all that stuff, whatever. So anyway, on this particular day, on lunch at cafeteria, I wind up bumping into her, even though we knew each other, but I wound up rubbing up against her way more than what I should have. It was a mistake, but it was an innocent mistake. But when I did it, I immediately I'm sorry. I thought she was going to turn around and be very upset. Instead, she turned around and gave me a very friendly smile. I was like, it's okay, no, it's fine. You probably was happy anyway. And I was like, what? We joked about it, laughed about it. But anyway, to carry on, me and her was pretty cool. A couple of times, me and her would do that. Around that age, a lot of girls and boys, when you start getting into each other, girls love to play fight, just to really be touchy-touchy with each other. And then occasionally, that's what me and her would do. A little touchy-touchy with each other. A couple of times I felt her butt or whatever the case, and she didn't make a big deal about it. And I got happy. I was like, oh man, she let me touch her butt. Ooh, 6th grade, that's how you thought. You know what I'm saying? So, and we did this quite a few times, and it was always all cool. I mean, I wasn't her girlfriend, she was my boyfriend, nothing like that. But it was just that the little love taps, we thought it was funny and cool. However, on this, I got so comfortable with doing little love taps with her, whatever the case. On this one particular day, this girl was with her other white female friends. And I happened to be coming down the hallway. Now remember, I touched her in ways all the time. It was never a problem. Even though it may have been appropriate, but as kids, these things go on. But on this day, she was her other white friends. And as I'm coming down the hallway, I had to stop her for something. To get it, I had to get something from her. Whatever, I think it was a homework assignment or whatever the case. And after she had gave that to me, her friends were kind of walking off like as if distance. But then after she gave that to me, I backhanded her butt real quick. Like I've done so many times in the past. But this time when I did it, because her white friends, they see, all of a sudden she turned around and she was like, what the hell are you doing? You big freaking gorilla! And see the enmity that she gave me? Now, as always, y'all know I love to give y'all a word of the day. And that's going to be the word of the day. Enmity. I'll spell it for you. E-N-M-I-T-Y. If you look up the word enmity, it means to have a feeling of a strong hostile feeling towards someone or something. You see what I'm saying? And see her enmity that she had towards me, but she never had this before. But now you with your white friends, your other white friends, and see how she had that enmity towards me and turned on me? And then not only was like, what are you doing? You big freaking gorilla. Yo, when she said that, I said, yo, who the heck you think you talking to? I said, yo, I smacked the mess out of you. What's wrong with you? Yo, and then, my boy grabbed me and her girlfriends grabbed her and was like, no, you should go to the principal. You should tell on him. And I was like, what? So we left, split up there. But I was just shocked. I couldn't believe that she turned on me like that when she was with her friends. You know what I'm saying? It really hurt. Like, wow, I thought it was my friend. She never did that before. But anyway, I'm in class. Momentary later at my next class, I'm in class. I'm still got a little enmity in me because it really pissed me off, made me hostile all of a sudden that she got enmity towards me, hostile towards me. So I'm in class trying to focus on my work if I ain't ever goofing off at the time, but I was still pissed off that it ain't time to be goofing off. I'm pissed that she flipped on me like that. Next thing you know, we get a knock at the door. Miss Lee. Anyone went to Lafayette, y'all know what I'm talking about around that time. Miss Lee and Mr. Foster was the guidance counselors. Miss Lee comes to the door, and right away she yells out my name. She go, look, you come with me. She tell the teacher what happened, this and that. And then she gets me out of the hall. She said, no, come, you got to come to me to the office. So I'm like, oh, man. Of course, how kids act. Everybody in the class like, don't. So anyway, I'm like, man, y'all shut up. And I'm still a little pissed. And as we walk into her class, she's like, I am so disappointed at you, young man. And I was like, but Miss Lee, she's like, I don't want to hear it. And we get to her office. As we get in her office, she's like, now what in the world has gotten into you, young man? She go, now what is this I hear about you going around touching girls' butt, backside? That's the word she used. And I said, yeah, but, she said, butt nut, did you do that? I said, yeah, but, Miss Lee, I did that plenty of times and she ain't know. It's because she was with her friends. And then she went, and then as soon as I said that, Miss Lee got up from her desk, walked right past me, went in back of me, got at the door, shut the door now, and locked it. And when she did that, I was like, uh-oh. I was, I'm a kid, so I'm like, oh, what the heck? This made me nervous. I was like, what the heck's going on? Miss Lee, by the way, was a beautiful, intelligent black woman. Did a great job with us being a guidance counselor. She explained stuff in great detail, very scrupulous how she did it. But anyway, locked the door and went back and sat down. Then she didn't sit down. When she came back, she stood in front of me. Just paint the picture. She stood in front of me, leaned halfway on her desk, but right in front of me. And she said, so you're telling me, let me explain something to you, young man. So you're telling me, so obviously you did put your hand on this girl's backside, right? I said, yeah, but like I said, I did it plenty of times and she never did that, had no enmity towards me. Of course I used that word back then, but I said, she didn't act like that before. Now because she was with her friends, she gonna act all funny with me. She said, let me tell you something right now. Do you even have any clue how many black men has been murdered and killed by what you did way back in the days? And let me explain something to you. It was a lot of times where these white women will be with a black man and love the mess out of them. But anytime that sheriff or other racist white people would come around, they bust the door, and the first thing that white woman would do? She would yell out rape. See, she loved being with that black man, loved making love to him and everything, but what that black man never knew, the ones that got killed over this type of stuff, was that she would turn on them whenever she'd get around her own people, whenever she was busted, and now it would jeopardize her lifestyle. Instead of standing by this man that she loved, since it's jeopardizing her lifestyle, she'd yell out rape. And before you know it, this black man will get killed, murdered, hung, whatever the case. So I don't want to hear this nonsense you saying, oh, but it was okay plenty of times. First of all, you shouldn't be touching no girl's backside. You understand what I'm telling you, young man? You understand what I'm telling you? And I was like, yeah. And then she said, and you see the story that I told you, all of that's true. This stuff has happened many a time, so you get that through your head. And I don't want to ever hear about you touching some girl's backside again. You understand me? Man, that was a powerful message Miss Lee gave me. I never forgot that. And it just messed me up. Because when she broke it down, it made sense what this girl had did to me. It was all cool until you got around your other friends. You get what I'm saying? It was so identical to what she had taught me right there. And But she made me go back to class, and we had to find the class old girl was in, and she made me. That girl came out in the hallway, and I had to apologize to her, which I did it honestly. I apologized because Miss Lee made me understand I was wrong for touching any girl's backside, and I apologized, and old girl apologized too, and I could tell it was genuine, and because she apologized, she said, "I'm sorry, I should have never called you that," and I said, "Yeah," I said that was crazy. She said, "Yeah, I was." That was so wrong. Please, I'm so sorry. I gotta say, me and her, we were still friends, and we got even tighter after that. Sometimes you get tight with someone when you go through a little bit of adversity. I honestly add this to it. It was many, many, many years later, even when I was an adult. I ran into this same girl. Matter of fact, this was about 8 years ago. I ran into her in a parking lot, at a shopping parking lot. And when she seen me, she was from a far distance. But when she seen me, man, she was so happy, came over, gave me the biggest hug, and would tell me all about her life. Man, I was always cool. It was just a little hiccup we had right there. But see, like I said, that was my first racist encounter. What was yours? But before I go, of course I'm going to say, as I always say, subscribe, share, like, and comment. Give me a comment on your first racial encounter. But I'm going to give you one more gem dealing with the word enmity. Remember, Enmity, enmity, meaning having a hostile feeling towards someone or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like someone get you real mad, you be like, get out of here. That's enmity. Or something. Let's say somebody, the Pettis Bridge, that racist bridge down south. Anytime somebody that Martin Luther King went over. Let's say they somebody crossed that bridge. They like, oh, I can't stand this bridge. Why people tearing down all these statues and stuff? They real hostile towards something. But let me give you one more story dealing with enmity. Now, this is a good one. This is dealing with a lot of times how you've heard this type of conversation with people when we are trying to grow with one another, right? And you may hear a black person say to another white person who says, "I'm not racist. Well, what could I do to show that I'm not racist? I don't want to say that stupid stigma of I got black fans, family and friends. No, but I'm not racist." And then a black person may say this common thing. Okay, if you're not racist, tell us black folks what you white folks be saying to one another when y'all alone. What do y'all plot against us, and what do y'all say against us, right? I'm going to give you a real one right here. Now, this happened shortly after a little incident with the white girl in middle school. Has nothing to do with one another, but it happened shortly after that. I remember another white friend that I had. I remember one day we was chilling. This was some years later. We was chilling. I remember one day out of the blue, he said to me, and we was cool. We was real tight. That's why he opened up to me. And he said to me, "Hey, yo, June, you know what's crazy, man? Can I say something to you to be totally honest, man? I want you to get offended." I said, so right away, my enmity was starting to rise. Cause I'm like, he gonna say something racist or stupid, right? He said, "Yo, I just want to be honest with you." He said, "Yo, you know how your uncles with black people, you know how," cause as soon as he started the sentence off like that, you know what I'm saying? That's when my enmity started to go up. Here you go, it's black stuff, right? He goes, "Nah, man. You know how you black people, how y'all fathers, your uncles, and your brothers be getting locked up, going to jail, rather it's for drugs or drunk driving." What? And I was like, right away, my enmity, it went up even further. I was like, "Yo, man, what's your point, man? What you getting at?" And right away, he was like, "Yo, calm down, man. I ain't trying to be funny. I just want to stress a point to you." So, yo, man, first of all, calm down, man. I'm not trying to diss. He said, but back to my story. You know how your uncles, your fathers, your brothers and all them get locked up for drugs or whatever the case and go to prison? He said, "Yo, man, this is the stuff that they don't tell you. All us white people, our fathers, uncles, and brothers be getting locked up for the same stuff. But the only difference between an average white family and a black family is that when y'all fathers, brothers, and uncles get locked up, y'all kids know your father's in jail. Your father's in prison. Y'all know the difference. But you know what the average white family will say to their kids? As long as it's not, obviously if it ain't 12, 15 years, but if it's just a short period to stay in jail, like maybe a year or something like that, he said, you know what our mothers, our aunts and grandmothers say to us little kids? They go, when we be like, "Where daddy at? Where uncle at?" We be there, our mothers, aunts, and and grandmothers tell the little white kids, they say, "Oh, your father's in college. That's why he ain't home right now. He's away in college." You imagine that, man?
Yeah, but with the white people, it's because they don't want a bad reputation.
See?
The bad reputation.
Good point. They want to paint this picture to their kids, always some positive picture, even when negative stuff is going on.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, in the black and Spanish neighborhood, you know your loved ones is in prison, in jail. Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, the white neighborhood, they always want to paint this pretty picture, this beautiful picture. Oh, your father? Oh, you're wondering where he's been for the last 3 years? Yeah, he's away in college. Yo, when he told me that, I said, I never thought of that. But see, that was one of them gems where a real white person dropped it on me of what really goes on in his household. You see? Because your father away at college, but he really in prison. What he learning in college? How to kill people more? How to be a better criminal? That college? But anyway, like I said before, subscribe, share, like, and comment. I get more positive videos out to you. In no way, shape, or form is this meant to be a negative video. It's positive stuff that I put out all the time. It's just that it was dealing with, you like my book there by Marcus Garvey?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
red, black, and green. It's just so much more red, black, and green. You ask what I mean? But anyway, subscribe, share, like, and comment. And as I said, this was not no negative video, but it was a real video dealing on real stories, real things that I went through and other people like yourselves out there going through. So give me your story. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. Do that for me. Peace. Hit that button.